Good morning, good morning. What's up, everybody? It's Ulu. I just pulled in to my parking stall, but um, gosh, it was so busy last night. It's so crazy, wild, busy, but I made it. I just wanted to just talk about something real quick, and you know, it's we all know. Okay, it's obvious that women nowadays are not like they were before back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. And the men are not like they were before. There are men out there that really don't believe in being the sole provider of a household. There are men out there that really believe that they don't have to provide. Okay. There's women out there who believe that they are entitled to TLC, to good love, to great sex, to um, a man's attention whenever they want it. For these two parties, I just have to say that it's pretty messed up. It's pretty messed up. And because of, childhood traumas, bad experiences, and life's life's curveballs, life's lessons, life's situations, crisis and all that kind of stuff. So men and women are just completely different. Their mindset is completely different. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. I don't care who can tell me that they don't crave a man. I don't care. I don't care what kind of woman, she is. She claims to be independent and nobody tells her what to do. Nobody runs her life. She's in control of her own life, her destiny and everything, her own household and whatnot. That's cool. That's cool. But nobody can tell me that woman doesn't go to bed at night lonely. Okay, all these quotes and stuff like that. Yeah, she's comfortable being alone, but let me tell you, it is a natural thing for a woman to crave a man, to want to have a man in their life, to want to have someone that can be their provider, protector, their, comforter, their all of those things. All of those things. And there is no man in this world that does not crave a woman, that does not crave the softness and the sweetness and the nurturing um, character of a woman. There's no man there's no single man that goes to bed at night, every single night, and says, I don't need no woman in my bed. No, I don't. Same thing goes for the woman. There's no woman that goes, I don't want a man. I just can satisfy myself. Blah, 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 blah. All that kind of stuff. There's nothing like human contact when two people connect, when two people have feelings for each other, when two people care for each other, when two people, and no matter the situation, if they're married, if they're just in a domestic partnership or they live separate and they make the time for each other. There's married couples that do that, and there's non-married couples that do that. There's married couples that actually live together, and then there's non-married couples that actually live together. The point that I'm trying to make here is that men, realize the role of your title as a man. It's not to be a dictator over your household. No. You're not supposed to be a dictator. You're not supposed to just be a provider and think that your job ends when you clock out of work or when you come home, and that You only going to work, and the woman does every freaking thing, okay? Especially if she works. Irregardless if you're married or in a domestic partnership, meaning you live together but you're not married, or you don't live together but you do have a relationship. It's a natural thing for men and women to think those things. Like, okay, she gonna do all the things and I only gonna do this, and she gonna do all this and I only gonna do this. No, it's a natural thing sometimes to want to do that, okay, in a black and white world. But unfortunately, we don't live in a black and white world. Okay, we live in a world that is full of color, full of emotion, full of seasons, full of changing seasons, full of different personalities and all of that. If you look around, people, open your eyes, you can see. Just open your eyes and take into consideration that there's different people, there's different nationalities, there's different cultures, there's different types of music, there's different types of food. So why would a man just fucking think that, guess what, in this modern world, that he can just be Paul with his job and he don't have to help out in the house? And why would a woman fucking think that, oh, I'm a woman, so guess what, you just have to take care of me and I'm just gonna do what I want to do, and when I want attention from you, you're just gonna give it to me, and you're supposed to know. No, men don't know, men don't read minds, so do women. They don't read minds either. So communication is important. I'm telling you, if you guys communicate, your relationship will be better. Okay, some people, they don't know how to communicate, but you gotta try. There's even women. Women mostly are considered to be the ones who express their feelings. Yeah, on the norm, women like to express their feelings because it's part of their womanhood. It's part of their femininity. It's part of them talking to you and telling you, this is what I need from you, honey, my baby. I love you so much. And this is what I need from you right now, attention or whatever. And yes, we need to take into consideration the way we talk to our spouses or talk to our partners, and come to them in a loving way, in a loving fashion. Please, men, do not dismiss her. Because once you dismiss her, and every time you keep doing that, you know what you're telling her? You're telling her that you don't give a flying fuck about her feelings. You don't care what she think. You don't care what she, about her opinions. You don't care. You don't care. That's what you're telling her. When you refuse to reciprocate what she's telling you, what she's expressing to you, that means you don't care. And then guess what? You cannot get mad if she freaking starts to ice you and starts to become withdrawn and starts to become disclosed or closed off. Excuse me. And you cannot get mad at her when she decides to start doing her own thing and not consider you anymore. For real. And it happens in marriage relationships that have been married for 10-20 years. You have to understand, guys, people change. We have all changed. We are not like our mothers. We are not like our fathers. Because if we were like them, guess what? We'd be repeating the same generational curses that was passed down, or we would be repeating the good things that was passed down. I know people, and even in my family, that, guess what, came from a broken home, and they endeavored to be married and stay married to their person that they lost their virginity to, or they're just going to stay with that person because why? They want to make it work. That is very, very rare these days, guys. So we must take into consideration, like, how are these people making it work? Regardless of your living situation, married or not married, domestic partnership or not, whatever. We have to take into consideration that these people must be doing something right. First of all, they care and love each other, right? Second, they're willing to to make sacrifices for each other. Third, they're willing to compromise. They're willing to agree to disagree on certain topics. Now, also in a partnership, especially where there's children involved, and if you are married and it's a blended family, you need to make sure that you set your boundaries or expectations with that person. If they're going to be correcting your children, or if you're going to be correcting their children, and having that ultimate respect for each other as parents. We should be able to be learning from each other, not freaking getting mad and fighting and hating each other and talking shit to each other. We need to stop that. And the way you stop that is to make sure that you take care of yourself. I always promote self-care, and I always promote, paying attention to yourself. If you don't pay attention to yourself, then you're not going to want to give any energy to the person that's supposed to be one of the most important people in your life. You're not going to want to, because you are drained, you're tired, you're exhausted. I hope this makes sense. I really, really do. This is something that I really, 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 really need people to understand. It begins with self. Stop putting blame on the other person. Unless you're in a relationship where there's fucking, clearly there's abuse. There's abuse, like mental abuse, physical abuse, verbal abuse, sexual abuse, neglect, all that kind of stuff, manipulation and all that kind of stuff. You obviously you're not gonna freaking try to be like, oh, okay, Some of us have gone through that and tried to make things better by just accepting. No. What happens is you start to become depressed, and it starts to oppress you as an individual human being. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Correct me if I'm wrong. Post your comments. Share this video to anybody who needs to hear it. Like, for real, self-care is the most important thing that we need to do, and that includes not only physical but mental and emotional self-care. You have to find your own peace. You have to find your own space, and if living apart in a marriage is what works for you guys, then hey. But you cannot, if you agree to do that, you cannot be thinking about fucking crazy kind of stuff, unless it's a mutual agreement. You know what I mean? There's different types of relationships over here that actually work by doing certain things. For me, nah. I'm a one man woman who needs a one woman man. That's me, 100%. I am so much for monogamy, and that's another post. Okay, why there's several reasons why, okay, that monogamy is best. That's the next video. All right, guys, I'm going in the house. I'm tired. Love you guys. Have a beautiful day. Aloha.